A happy new month, everyone. Welcome to the Speak the Truth in Love ministry with Miss Veronica. Peace, blessing. I really felicitate us. Mbayozayozo okuyingira omwezi guno ogwa Agusto, omwezi ogw'omusanvu banange. Everyone, bienvenue. Welcome to this month and welcome to this video. Welcome to this audio that I want to give a title. Learning the art of disagreement. Learning the art of disagreement. Mu Luganda nandikiwadde omutwe okuyiga okukuuma emirembe ne mu butakiriziganyizi. I don't know, like learning the art of disagreement, like okuyiga okukuuma emirembe newe mubanga like ebirowoozo byamwe biri different. One, I'm here to share such message. Just like I tell people, city pastor, but I use biblical truth to share different things about different aspects in life with the world out there, according to the things I read, the things I research about, and the things I learn from different people. So this morning, I want to give my message a title. This beautiful August 1st Saturday, this Saturday, August 1st, 2026, I want to give my message a title, Learning the Art of Disagreement. First of all, Miss Veronica, I am one person, who really believes in something called constructive criticism, because constructive criticism makes us better people. Obubaka omuzungu kyayita constructive criticism be bantu okuwa obubaka ku bintu byoyogerako according to feedback, naye omuntu okuwabula mu ngeri eri healthy. Because with constructive criticism someone is not mentioning anything bad about the channel, but they are sharing to make you a better person. Chechengama ti constructive criticism etuyamba okwezimba, etuyamba okututwala maaso. And the reason, personally, Veronica, I welcome it, and I can know if criticism is constructive or its aim is just to put me low. I keep telling people I'm one person who really believes the things I share on this channel are my opinions. And the reason I have come out with such a topic, learning the art of disagreement. Learning the art of disagreement in society, in families, in relationships, in marriage, in the workplace, in the church, with our children, with our parents, because at times it is very, very important to learn the art of disagreement with different people in life that will help us also become responsible people in lives. Abantu abasinga tulowooza omuntu lwakubasikkiriziganya naawe oli mulabe wange. Kyova olaba obubaka bwange buno mbuwadde omutwe okuyiga obutakkiriziganya n'abantu naye nga mwessaamu ekitiibwa. Abantu abasinga mu nsi tulowooza lwakuba I disagree with you, I am your enemy, sikwagala, oli mulabe wange, which is so wrong. At times people are so wounded in relationships, in different relationships in life, in marriage, in homes, in families, because we have not learned the art of disagreement. And we have to know, as human beings, we can never agree on everything, and it is what makes us human. Nti fenga abaana b'abantu tetusobola kukkiriziganya ku buli kimu, ate kyekitufuula like kyekituleetera okubeera abantu, kyekitufuula eky'obuntu. Naye abantu abasinga tuli mu stress, tuli mu ntalo, tuli mu butakolagana, mu butayagaliza, lwakuba kyokkirizaamu si kikkirizaamu, lwakuba kyolowooza si kyendowooza, and that brings a lot of conflict, a lot of disunity in the world, because we have not learned the art of disagreement, but still loving and respecting each other. Abantu abasinga, you find there are so many unresolved conflicts in marriages. People lack peace in their marriages. There's a lot of unforgiveness in marriages because couples have not learned the art of disagreement as couples, that people can agree to disagree but still remain one. People can agree to disagree but still love and respect each other. Naye abantu abasinga mu nsi lwakuba I disagree with you, I am your enemy, sikwagala, and that is why we live in a very wounded world, because most of us have not learned about the art of disagreement but still loving and respecting each other. So many people are wounded, so many people feel depressed, they feel betrayed, they feel rejected because we have not learned that disagreements are inevitable. Kiringa ekyo kyembulira abantu abafumbo. Togenda kufuna malayika, oba togenda kufuna mwami oba mukyala, togenda kufuna mwami, togenda kusanga mwami oba mukyala nga buli kimu mukkiriziganya. Because the reason it is called a covenant, because you are not going to agree with your spouse in everything, about everything, and the reason it is called marriage, and the reason God brings two different people with different personalities, with different opinions, with different thinkings and backgrounds to make a home. But so many people are wounded in their marriages because they have not learned the art of disagreement as couples. We are so wounded in families because we have not learned the art of disagreement in families. Where even despite of your disagreements as a family, you will remain one. Despite of your differences in the family, you have to remain one because family is family. Abantu abasinga I'm a family I'm a family gali so divided kwa tulowooza wakuba muganda wange kyakiriza si kyenzikirizamu ndi enemy we. Ate nga tetumanyi nti family Mukama yagiteekawo kubanga no matter your differences you still remain a family. Kiti ekikijjaawo because of your differences in opinions, in thinking, nechibagano okubeera abooluganda. And the reason I'm here to share with people have disagreements in every spheres of life. In the work setting, in families, in marriages, in the church, in societies. And because we don't agree on everything, people become enemies, people become each other's enemies, which is so wrong. Disagreeing with someone does not make them your enemy. Obutakkiriziganya na muntu tekimufuula mulabe wo. Naye abantu abasinga lwakuba sikkiriziganya naawe oli mulabe wange ate ng'ekyo kifu. Abantu abasinga, we are in bitterness, we are in anger because of disagreements, and we do not know we cannot agree on everything. The reason you see people live in families and are so wounded, people are in marriages, they are so wounded, because we do not know in any healthy relationship, disagreements are inevitable. Nti obufumbo bonna obuva ewa Katonda obutategeerigana bulina okubeera kiri normal. Abantu ababiri ababeera bombi nga buli omu yakulira waabwe, buli omu alina obuyisa bubwe, tebasobola kukwatagana mu buli kimu kubanga kintu kya bulijjo. And the reason is so many people are very unhappy in their families because they have not learned that what makes marriage, that what makes them human in their marriages is disagreement. Abantu abasinga tukyankalana mu society lwakuba kyokkirizamu sikikirizaamu neefuuka mulabewo, which is so wrong. And the reason I'm here to enlighten the public, to enlighten someone out there, that disagreeing with someone does not make them your enemy. You can disagree with someone but still remain one. You can disagree with someone but still respectfully love and care for each other, because disagreements are what make us human. No, we live in a world For example, here in Uganda, a celebrity may have a following, or they come and speak about a certain issue. Ensine mugolokokerako, celebo mulamba, oyogera kyo kintu wekityo. Naye nga tomanyi eri opinion ya muntu oli. They have a reason and a right to their opinion, and just because you are following them, just because they are a celeb, just because they are famous, you do not have any right to refute their opinion. You know, just because omutakiriziganya nawe wadde ng'omufollowinga wadde selebu tekimufuula mulabewo, naye abantu abasinga ensonga tetulina mirembe kuba buli kimu lwakwasikiriziganya nawe oli mulabe wange. And who tells you? You know, no, we have to learn the art of disagreement where we disagree but respectfully love and care for one another, because it is what makes us human. No, you find parents in homes, no sango omuzadde anyigira omwana tampuliriza because of a disagreement. Naye ng'omuzadde oyo tamanyi nti omwana emyaka gy'aliko talina kumufuga kubanga n'omwana oyo ebirowoozo bibi aba akuze. Kati abazadde tulina ekyo kirina okubagamba, omwana waliwo emyaka gy'atuukamu nga you cannot control them. We speak to parents, you cannot control a 30-year-old child, a 30-year-old daughter or son because they are your child. No muntu ono aba akuze, ebirowoozo bye, endowooza zibeera different. And as a parent, you may want to control them, which is not right. You know, and the reason I'm telling people out there, people can disagree but still love and respect each other. Chobola Bible gamba abazadde kangavula omwana wo ng'akyali muto. Naye olina emyaka mwana gy'agenda okutuukamu nga tosobola mucontrollinga kubanga it is human. Mulimu ebintu byemukwaze nkola counseling n'abaana abawala, nkola counseling oluusi n'abazadde. Omuzadde n'agamba this teenage girl is disrespecting me, but you have to know stage omwana oyo gy'alimu. Atandise okula, kati ebintu aba biraba bulala naawe obiraba bulala. Kati gwe ng'omuzadde you'll call it disrespect, but you do not know psychologically or biologically omwana oyo aba akula, and they are not disrespecting you, but they are trying to be themselves. You know, so many parents are wounded with their children that they are disrespecting them, and this is so wrong, you know, because a parent has to know there is a certain age and you are not supposed to control a child. However, they are your child, you know, and the reason I tell young people, you may not agree with your parent, but respect them. You know, because it is what the Bible says. The Bible says in Ephesians, I think when you read Ephesians chapter 6 from verse 1 to 3, it says, honor your mother and father, and you will live long on earth. Because you may not agree with your mother, you may not agree with your father, but you honor them, you respect them. And this is what I'm sharing with people. Because as a child, you may not agree with your parent, but respect them because you need their blessing in the world. You know, you need their blessing in the world, and the reason you have to respect them, because it is so biblical. Respect your mother and father, that you may live long on earth, you know. But it's the Bible that says, parents, you know, do not lead your children in anger. Do not provoke your children in anger. Kubanga no mwana oluusi wasigwa muletedde obusungu tajja ku disrespectinga. Naye abazadde abasinga bekwasanga abaana ba disrespectinga, but you are the one who provokes them to anger, and it's the reason they disrespect you. No, you know, at times you have to know certain biblical truths, because when you read Ephesians chapter 6 from verse 1 to 2, it says, honor your father and mother, respect your mother and father, that you may live long on earth. And it goes on to say, parents, do not provoke your children to anger. Because at times, children also get disrespectful because parents are provoking them to anger. And the reason I'm sharing with someone, disagreeing with your parent does not mean that you disrespect them. You know, you can disagree with them, but you respect them, you honor them, and that is the true blessing. You know, but we live in a world, back to my point, we have to know disagreeing with someone does not make you their enemy. Obutakiriziganya na birowoozo byamu tebimufuula mulabewo. No, let me give an example. Veronica mbuulira engeri eya sexual purity ey'okwekuuma naye oli ajja kuyimirira agambe bya kiralu ate nga according to them bya kiralu kuba ye alabira ddala okubeera awo naye nga bakozesa omubiri gwe we bamwebakako we bamuddukako wali mu rejection wali mu depression naye ng'abiyita bya kiralu kati mulimu ebintu endowooza yo ku opinion yange tefuula mulabewo. Because you may not be believing in sexual purity, but you hardly share what you go through, the consequences and repercussions of what you have to endure because of everyone using your body, because you think they are doing you a favor, because you think it is what everyone does. Even young people tell their parents, but are we seeing the ongoing depression that begins among young children because of what we call crap? Because of what we call old-fashioned? Kati mulimu ebintu ebimu wembanze I stand for sexual purity, but you don't stand for it. It does not make me your enemy. Because we have a reason why we have different opinions in life, and it is what makes us it is what makes this world a better place. Because we live in a world where we are so wounded. Abantu ne bakyawa omuntu omanyi olina olugezigezi lungi omanyi yo misjudge omanyi olowooza otuukiridde yo miss perfect miss know it all. And when I thought these are my opinions, if my opinions do not apply to you, it does not make me your enemy. And the reason I tell people we can disagree but still love and respect each other because it is what makes us human. You know, those disagreements are what make us human. But at times most of us are so wounded, we live in anger, in bitterness, because we do not know that disagreements are what make us human and they are inevitable. No, there's something I have learned, Veronica. Not everyone is going to agree with you, and you have to be okay with that. You know, your opinions are your opinions and should never be forced on anyone. And the reason no one should force their opinions on you. No, there is some quoting, like there is some beautiful quote I got by Bruce Lee. You know, he said, I am not here to live up to your expectations, and you're not here to live up to mine. Inti siri munsi okukola byoyagala, nawe toli munsi okukola byenjagala. Kati womanya toli munsi okukola byenjagala, nange siri munsi okukola byoyagala. Watch, because of disagreements we become enemies. And that is truth. We live in a world where people are so disturbed, they are in anger, they are in unforgiveness because they are not agreeing. We see it in families. Who tells you? Disagreeing with someone does not make them your enemy. But that is the world we live in. Because we walk in disagreements, we are enemies. You know, and we have to know disagreements that come at times there are disagreements that come as a result of perceiving a message differently. Like this happens a lot in marriage. Your spouse may share something and you perceive it differently, and you have all these wrangles because of disagreements that come as a result of perceiving information differently. You know, these are things that are wounding most marriages. You find omuchala, they deny their husband conjugal rights. Why? Because of disagreements. A man goes nazala muchala omulala, but you are the one who opened your door in your home, in your marriage, kubango onyize nnyo, and the man goes and sorts it because it is what makes him a man. But what is this disagreement? See, because you do not know, disagreements are not your marriage. Disagreements are there, namu abantu mulinga abantu. Because the reason why God brings people in a covenant, because He knows intimacy is what will keep that covenant, even with these disagreements. But we see women who do not use wisdom because of disagreements. You deny your husband conjugal rights and you open a door to your marriage. Omwami nakuletera abaana, omwami nagenda awalala, nenga you are the one who opened that door because you are not using wisdom. It's what I tell people. Disagreements are everywhere and they are very normal. Togenda kusanga malayika atuukiridde nti buli kimu akiina. Chobola negamba Veronica abantu abafumbo line ekyo nkyembagamba nange nkyegamba ne onozungira wanozungi buli omu alina package ye kati okubeerawo n'obulwa essanyu mu makaago because of disagreements ani gogenda okusanga nga you are going to agree on everything. You know, it is what I'm showing people. Disagreements are what make us human. Everyone can never love you. Like, buli omu tagenda kwagala, buli omu tagenda kukkiriza ndowooza zo. Ate si kibi. Because everyone has a right to their beliefs, to their opinions, because it is what makes us human. So why do you anger? Why do you walk in hatred, in bitterness? Because everyone is not agreeing with you. You know, it is what I'm showing people. The way we treat people we disagree with speaks much about us. Engeri je tukandolinga mu abantu betakiziganya nabo like chogera kinene nnyo ku bulamu bwaffe. Kubanga abantu abasinga lwakuba disagree with you omuntu n'omuyisa mu ngeri n'omuweebula ekitiibwa n'omuyisaamu amaaso n'omugwa disagree with you, which is so wrong. There is something, Veronica, I have learned. The way we treat, the way we love, the way we respect people we disagree with speaks much about the God we serve. Engeri gye tutreatingamu abantu betakkiriziganya nabo kyogera kinene nnyo Katonda gwe twogerako. It talks about our humility, our forgiveness, our compassion, our understanding, our showing mercy. No manya you don't consider people's weaknesses. Why na etotuukiridde? Naye abantu abasinga because I disagree with you, we disrespect people, we treat them in a very rude way, we treat them in impolite ways, which is not right. You know, it is why we have to know family will always be family no matter our differences. Because you are not going to find a perfect family. Togenda gisangayo. Buli family eina issues zayo. Kati muli bantu wetubimanya. It is the reason I speak to couples. Toweebulanga mwami wo, toweebulanga kitiibwa kya mukyala wo mu bantu. Kuba n'oyo g'onyumiza naye mukyala wo alina ebibye. We have to know there are certain things, they are family. It is why, Veronica, you will not find me speaking anything about my family on social media because each family has their issues. I will not share my family issues with the world to give the world weapons to fight me because each family has their issues and there is nothing called a perfect family. You know, and the reason I'm here telling people, disagreeing with someone does not mean that does not mean that you hate them. Abantu abasinga tetulina mirembe mu nsi lwakuba sikkiriziganya na muntu naye ani akugambye nti lwakuba tokize atakwagala, and that is so wrong. We have to know people can disagree but still love and respect each other. The tones we use to handle disagreements are very important. Abamu kufenga Veronica, naturally we are loudspeakers, and people will think you are raising your voice. But we have learned the power, the art of humility when we disagree with people. And the reason we have to know, disagreeing with someone does not make them your enemy. You know, it is the reason I tell people on this channel, out of lots of humility and not arrogancy. I'm not looking for a following. I'm not looking for a like. Because my opinions may not apply to you. Your opinion about me is none of my business. I respect it. I cannot refuse it. But it is not my business because it does not pay my bills. The reason I humbly tell people, your subscription, your like does not pay my bills. It is purpose that pays my bills. Out of lots of humility. You know, someone may make a comment, omanyi ebintu by'oboggolera abantu biveeko si bibyo. Mukama tannakuyita biwuliriza wemba nkuboggolera leka ayagala okuboggolerwa biwulirize ba si bibyo. Nenga ekyo tekinyiiza lwa kuba ngambye oba oggolera abantu. No, someone will make a comment. Omanyi, like someone is preaching out of bitterness. Avuma abantu. Enjiri ya kuvuma abantu. That is your opinion. I respect it. Sijajigana. Kwa mulimu abiwuliriza nagamba ebintu gabirimu amagezi mangi. Nagamba nze nga siwulirawo ovuma abantu, siwulirawo oboggola. Oli nakugamba, omanyi you're preaching out of bitterness, you're preaching out of offense. You're preaching out of love, you're preaching to help people, you're preaching that an opinion here. And the reason I tell people, someone disagreeing with you does not make them your enemy. You know, someone making a comment on my channel, you're preaching out of anger, out of bitterness. It does not make me, it does not make me take offense, because that is your opinion. You know, if I know I'm not speaking out of a point of anger and bitterness, why does it affect me? At times, people's opinions affect us because we also have something to do with that. There is a good example, Jempa abantu. Omuntu ajagamba omuntu yebaka nebba wa munne. Wobate webaka wachiba chikunyiza nga tochikola. Because oba tochikola. No, there are things I have learned, Veronica. Truth has no defense. Chokola bomuntu ne wakonona. Ensi ne wekonona ngoli mu mazima. Tonyingiranga abantu. Do not take offense. Kubanga amazima gavayo mu budde bwago. Abantu batuyinako bistole mu nsi. Now there is something I speak to myself. Storage oninako yosa jigana. As long as I'm walking in truth, storage oninako temala mumanyi kubanga amazima jegali. This is what I tell people. You have allowed people's opinions derail you, to steal your peace, to steal your emotional energy, because you have not learned. Not everyone is going to agree with you. And people have to know the higher levels, the higher devils. You have to know sitani tabera ku muntu nga talina jagenda. Veronica singa nali awo sina kyendiko ensi tesakungolokokerako nera akuba alaba jogenda agolokosa abantu. He raises a gang of demons that come in pretense of friends, that come in pretense of family, but it's a gang of demons praying for your downfall, praying for your pain, praying for your tears, where people will cheer you privately but publicly ruin your reputation, where people laugh with you nenga bakonona mu bantu kubanga ye Katonda amanye ekikuliko ne sitaani akimanyi kyengamba abantu olwanyisa musayina mubiri. Neda, let us be honest. Ensi tetagolokera ku muntu nga talina kyaliko tebakulimbanga ebe ekwagaza ki. There are things we take for granted, but knowing certain truths will set you free. No, I speak to kids in school. Wacholoza wotandika okubeera first mu class, abana batandika okuwalana. Naye bulijjo obadde ng'obeera 15, tiwaliwo akwogerako, naye ng'otandika okulembera, buli omu ng'atandika. Oyo omwana waabwe bamuwa obuti akozesa ddagala kubanga olina ky'otuuseeko. Ensi tegenda kulwanyisa ng'oli awo tolina ky'oliko. And the reason I tell people, this world only talks about people who have somewhere they are going. It is why you see Veronica nyizo okubano nenga mukama yakuyimusizza opinions zijja kuyitirira ez'abantu kubanga the higher levels, the higher devils. And the reason I have to know that disagreeing with people does not make me their enemy. No, there is an example I give. Veronica, the place where I stay in Matuga, I am called mad. I am called insane. And the reason people call me mad, because I wake up to clean the compound. I wake up to clean like the front yard of our residence. But can I refuse someone's opinion that I am mad? Because to them, akero kulongosa ye mulalu. Naye kumulala, alaba akero okulongosa si mulalu. Kati opinion yoso jikujjako oyo okumpita obulalu. I can't, because it is your opinion. I may not agree with it, but it does not make me your enemy. No, we live in a community where people are into occultic activity, and that is their life. But Veronica, you'll find me happy with them. I am sharing different information because there is a lot I get from them. It does not make me their enemy. You know, but we live in a world because we disagree in religious beliefs. Someone is a Muslim, you are a Pentecostal, they become your enemy. And who tells you? We live in a world because we disagree on different, maybe political issues, different issues in life, and I become your enemy. But who tells you that disagreeing with someone makes you their enemy? And that is what I'm trying to show us. Disagreements are there. But the way we handle them is what makes the difference. You know, handling disagreements in a respectful tone, handling disagreements in a Christ-like character. Nga ogamba omwami n'omukyala mwayombye, buli omu ayomba ne bbaawo amuyita mbizi, buli omu ayomba ne mukyala we amuyita mbizi amuyita mbwa, buli omu ayomba ne mwami we rabba akomyewo leeti amusibira bweru, buli omu abeera ne conflict n'omwami we agaana muwa conjugal rights. Because there are things we have to know. If people can disagree differently, gwe waaki ekikyo kigaana. And the reason I'm telling someone, disagreements are what make us human. Just because you are in a marriage and you have disagreed with your spouse does not make them your enemy. It is not a right for you for a woman to deny your husband conjugal rights because you have conflict in the home. Kwa mukama yamanya abantu ababiri abavudde mu different homes and families tebagenda kukwatagana. Bye bino bye negamba Veronica, omukyala n'ova mu bufumbo because of a disagreement. Nga there are things you have to know. Olaba ne baganda bo be wakula nabo, you can disagree with them. Mama owo gwe wakula nayo, you can disagree with her. Tato owo, you can disagree with them. Kati ono omwami gw'osanze obusanzi mu nsi, what olowooza you won't disagree with them? Why do you think it is something to walk away with you out of your marriage because of a disagreement? And there are things I'm learning, Veronica. No, there are things we take for granted. If you can disagree with your own mother, if you can disagree with your own father, if you can disagree with your own brother, your own sister, if you can disagree with your own family, kati antono omwami ono omukyala gwosanze obusanzi, how do you think you're going to agree on everything? Nga buli omu yakulira wuwe, jukira bali okuze nabo obulamu bo bonna. These are things I'm showing people. It is the reason God knew. He put intimacy, he put coitus in marriage because he knows when disagreements come, that is what will keep your marriage. But because some women do not use wisdom, they deny their husband conjugal rights and they think they are punishing them, and you do not know you're only opening a door in your marriage, you know, that is going to create all unhappiness in your marriage because you are not using wisdom. Because we have to know any two people in a normal relationship, they will disagree. And the reason God calls it marriage, a covenant, why am I chiriche chibagatta, ejawukana ziriwo, ekyo kye kibagatta, naye gwe n'okikosa nti ekirwanyisa obufumbo bwo. Naye osiba mu church osaba, osiba mu church wagenda n'abaana, amaka go wagaleka. Naye nga kibutasonyiwa because of disagreements. And the reason I'm showing someone, let us know that disagreements are inevitable. Tetusobola zeewala. But the way we approach them is what makes the difference. You know, it is why I'm telling people, it is why I'm telling someone, disagreeing with someone does not make them your enemy. Obutakkiriziganya na muntu tekimufuula mulabe wo. Lwakuba oli agenda mu ssabo, nze nzikiriza mu Bible n'ofuuka mulabe wange waaki. Mulimu ebintu nga ffenna opinions zaffe, we have a right to our opinions. And the reason you are not going to force your opinions on anyone, and not everyone has to force their opinions on you, because it is what makes us human. There are things I have learned, Veronica. At times why the world misunderstands you